You are now listening to Conscientization 101, an online magazine combining reflection, music, and action through independent media.
It's very important to be with conscious African women and men. And I'm very excited to see Conscientization 101, to see Sister Zari there and the brother James, and to see that you have started an organization to conscientize the world, especially African people, about what's really going on in this world.
Conscientization 101.
A lot of these people right now in this conscious, so-called conscious movement, they're not actually living in that lifestyle.
Bakers.
That's why, obviously yourself, we're on the same sort of frequency. That's why you're listening to the same things I'm listening to, because we're sharing that same sort of thought. We want the same sort of things, and a lot of people don't want the same sort of things. Even yourself, what you're doing now is for the people. So everything is people-based.
Globally conscientizing.
What's making me proud of what this kind of connection here is that, no matter what is said, no matter what is done, you leave listening to our music with a feeling. The same way we're going to leave this conversation with a feeling. And that is the most important thing for I and I, the vibe and the energy and the feeling that you leave with, because you might not remember every lyric, but you're going to remember the feeling. So that's really important, and that's what I'm getting from what you're doing.
It's all about you. True, I said it's all about you. You never knew that it's all about you. I'm telling you that it's all about you. True.
When you and I, you have me so relaxed, really all about you.
It's all about you. True, I said it's all about you.
Whenever we our energies collide, make me all about you.
It's all about you, yeah, I said it's all about you.
It's like the first time you ever felt alive, sun kisses your skin, and you feel so glorified. It's not a feeling, but a simple way of life. When you do what you do, and you do it to me, can't stop the raw vibes. When I hear you coming round, can't keep my voice down, cause you made me make that sound moving with behind. Take my feet right off the ground. When you do what you do, and you do it to me, you and I, have me so relaxed, really all about you.
It's all about you, true, I said it's all about you.
Whenever we our energies collide, make me all about you.
It's all about you, yeah, I said it's all about you.
About you, said you make me all about you. You make me all about you. Whoa, you make me all about you. Said you make me all about you. You make me all about you. Whoa, when you and I, you have me so relaxed and really all about you.
It's all about you, true, I said it's all about you.
Whenever we our energies collide and make me all about you.
It's all about you, yeah, I said it's all about you. Could it be? I can tell it's time by the way that she looks at me. Taking off my turban and my trainers, banging on the walls, disturbing all my neighbors. Wraps her legs around me, grips me with her emotion and surrounds me, drowns me. In the car, I can't swim. Then she comes to my rescue when we start again. Chills, remembering the thrills when nature calls and there's rain against my windowsill. Juices spill and the sweat drips anytime I penetrate the tips of her wet lips. It's not another love song, but the love's strong and the time is to become one. Not another love song, but the love's strong and the time is to become one with you and I.
You have me so relaxed, really all about you.
Yeah, it's all about you, yeah, I said it's all about you.
And whenever we our energies collide, make me all about you.
It's all about you, I swear, say it's all about you.
Oh, and you and I, yeah, been so relaxed, really all about you.
It's all about you, no lie, it's all about you.
And whenever our energies collide, make me all about you.
It's all about you, Jano say it's all about you.
Make me all about you.
It's all about you, yeah, it's all about you.
Said to make me all about you.
It's all about you, and every last word I said is true.
Welcome to another episode of Conscientization 101 Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conscientization 101 Podcast. I'm your host on this episode and senior editor of Conscientization 101, James Stone. All right, it's good to be back here with you after some time now. I'm gotta tell you, it's been an ordeal of hurricanes and hospital rooms since we last aired. I am not joking. But we are really excited about being on today's show. As you can hear in the background, we are grooving to the smooth sounds of Decolonize This, Properly Defining Settlers, Part 1, the instrumental track that yours truly produced. And if you want to get a hold of the original track, it's available in our store, but we'll tell you more about that later on, okay? Don't worry about that. We're going to tell you how to get all the goodies, okay? But now, okay, let's get into what today's show is going to be about. Now, I know you heard that Oshun and Shango complementary pairing at the top of the show, that song, You and I Know It's All About You. I know you were like, oh, who is that? Who is that right there? Who are those two right there? All right? What you were just hearing were the collective talents of our sister, songstress, poet, Asabi Hawah, and of course our brother Raggo Zulu Rebel Rex. And those two together formed a critically acclaimed phenomenal group, You and Me. All right, yes. We will be playing on this podcast, on this episode, excerpts from a dialogue we had with our sister and brother on July 22nd, 2017, that we entitled A Complementary Bond, You and Me, Asabi Hawah and Raggo Zulu Rebel. The dialogue actually went on for almost 2.5 hours, so we had to break it up into two parts. So what you're about to hear is excerpts from part 1, okay? Now let me tell you about the interview. We had fun in this interview. We actually got to meet Mama Zulu Rebel. We got to meet Raggo's mama in the interview, man. So I'm saying we had fun. We was chopping it up like we ain't seen each other in a long time. Boy, I'm telling you, that was But anyway, I'm setting the atmosphere of what we're getting down. I just set the atmosphere. I'm laying it down. It was very congenial, familial. It was the bonds of us coming back together. The bond, it gave us life. See, Asabi, I'm working on it now. I'm working. I ain't got the voice like you though, sis. All right. But let me tell you about You and Me. You and Me, again, Asabi and Raggo, they recently released their dynamic and inspirational debut album on January 13th, 2017. And it's called Folk Songs. Now, we not only had the opportunity to discuss this monumental work in depth, this album, this folk songs in depth, but we talked about much more. So on this episode, we explore with You and Me such topics as the origins of how You and Me came together as a group, being self-directed versus self-made, the importance of balance and complementarity, the importance of language, and media-created images, and the selling of lifestyles. Okay, that's pretty much what we're gonna talk about with you and me. I want you to sit back, Asabi Hawah, Raggo Zulu Rebel, you and me, Folk Songs, the debut album. I'm talking too much. Get into it with these dynamic Africans. We'll see you at the other end of the show. Peace.
Today, on today's show, we have Sister Asabi Hawah and Raggo Zulu Rebel. And we have them on the show because they have a new album. Well, it's not brand new, but they have an album called Folk Songs, You and Me. And we want to talk about basically them as a group. And we also want to talk about the album.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the album. We want you to start off and keep talking about how y'all started doing music together. I know for a fact, I don't want to act like we on some Christopher Columbus type thing. You know what I'm saying? We discovered the new world and nothing like that. But you know, the first time we saw Sister Asabi, it was in the Hell Jai, and I was like, oh man, it was like a black backdrop. I thought y'all came out of the solar system and y'all were like Osiris rising again. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? And then y'all came out with an album, and then Raggo DM'd me and said, yeah, you know, we working on something, but that wasn't the sister that was singing, it was something else. But don't worry, she can sing, because when you say you charge me, you know what I'm saying? So there we go. Heaven was a mile away. Can you please talk to how y'all two got together? Please, the beautiful music conception. Thank you.
It all started with Asabi's cousin, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know who Tony has?
Yes. Star of David also on Return of JAH Messenger.
So that's the Sierra Leone link, basically.
Yes.
So it all started in Africa.
Always. Always.
Yeah, so basically, my cousin took me to one of Raggo's shows. I knew Raggo because he knew my cousin, but I didn't know him. We traveled in similar circles.
I don't know that man. I don't know that brother. I don't know him.
I'd seen his face before, let's say that. And then my cousin took me to one of his shows, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so amazing. And he seemed like he was his genuine self. And I was like, oh, I want to be that kind of performer. I want people to see me like that when I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought, okay, well, you know, make yourself be around like-minded people and whatnot. So I reached out to Raggo, and I was like, oh, I'm Tony's cousin. On a show, and he was like, cool. And he was like, oh, actually, let's collaborate first. So we met up. He played me a couple of tracks. We wrote some things together, and then recorded them. And then I had Dark Skin Man, and basically that had started off as a poem. So the first verse was all I had written. And one of my best friends had said, oh, you know, I think you should write a second verse to that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I wrote the second verse, but it still didn't feel like a complete piece. And by this point now, I'd met Raggo and we'd already written together. So I thought, okay, well, here's a dark-skinned man that I know. Okay. I was like, do you have a verse for this? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? So he wrote it. He wrote the verse, we recorded it, and then we performed it somewhere. And then every other time I performed it without him, people were like, oh, where's the guy?
The guy with the turban?
Oh, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I kind of tried to make sure he would come to the performances if I was going to do that track. And then I was like, you know what? The way the people just had so much love for that track. And I was like, you know what? I think we should be a band. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice song. I like that song. That's one of my favorites. The whole album is good, though. I can't really pick which one I like the most. But, you know, it's a good album. It is.
Yeah, as far as the album, and the one thing I like about the album, the same thing I like about Rolling Stone and all the Raggo's work and stuff like that. When we talked about Tate and Loud, the Sugar So Sweet, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. When we're talking about stuff like that, it's a complete album. You see what I'm saying? It's not like it's kind of like, you know, you got
a snippet.
There you go. You get a complete the 360 degrees relationship. And then we also talking about the African connection, which I always got to do. Diaspora is calling me.
Diaspora at the top, a sample of it, kind of thing for the intro and something towards the outro, and then having it in the middle, because as much as you may get distracted by the love songs and all that, as Peter Tosh would say, the darling, I love you, Yeah, it's not just that alone, and also the "Darling I Love You" is essential. The relationship and the dark skinned man and the mellow mood and the "All About You." Because if it's not all about you, if there's not a mellow mood, if there's not man and woman, and if you check back to the point, because the unity of the family was then broken because it became an individualist movement for people trying to get their own.
Yes.
And everyone trying to get, like, when the ship's sinking, so everyone's just trying to grab peace, but then there's not even enough wood to float no more. So you're all on your own,
Exactly. And I want to get deeper into that. But before we get into that, I want to talk about beats and I want to talk about bars. Oh, no, that's you and Tony Harris song. I'm sorry. But anyway, my point is I want to talk about, threw that in there, Return to JAH Messenger. Asabi, I want to talk to you specifically about your development in the guitar, okay? Because that's my acoustic guitar. That's my instrument. And I love to see the sisters play. That's the sisters playing the instruments now. You see, that's what I go for. I ain't on no skinny jeans stuff now. But I like to see y'all play the good. Tell us about how you learned to play the instruments. I think that's real inspiring, learning how to play an instrument and stuff.
It is.
Thank you. Well, basically, I used to sing in a band called Seven Suns, the number 7 and like Suns in the Sky. And that's a 13-piece Afro-Latin jazz band. And they mainly are an instrumental band, but I was there as a vocalist for them. And basically, being around all of those musicians, I love live music, full stop. So being around all those musicians was really inspiring. And then because I was writing a lot more when I was in the band, then it kind of inspired me to go out and do solo shows and whatnot. But I didn't want to be reliant on finding a musician on the day or at the time, or finding time to rehearse with a musician. So I thought, if I learned to play the guitar for myself, then all I had to do was pick up my guitar and go.
Right.
So that's what I did basically. I kind of researched guitars. I asked the guys in the band to help me out as well. And then I got a guitar. I got a guitar book. And I just, like Raggo said, I started clinging on the guitar. And because I can be quite, I don't know if lazy is the word, but I can lose focus when I've set myself a project at times. So I thought, if I write songs on the guitar straight away, then that will make me practice more, because I will learn and rehearse the songs and I want to perform them. So that's what I did. So I learned a few chords, made sure I could play them cleanly. And then I just started writing songs with the chords that I could play. And I took it from there, basically. And yeah.
That's what you did.
That's exactly what I did. I love this. I'm telling you, I'm sitting over here geeking, man. I'm like, this is that African ingenuity over here. That's exactly what I did, but I just couldn't still. Like you said, I learned my C, I learned my G, and I was trying to learn how to hammer on, hammer off, and stuff. And I was trying, but I can't sing, but you guys can play and sing, because you got that beautiful ethereal voice. That's that ethereal, that crystal clear. It's like your voice is like drinking some peppermint tea on a crisp day. You know what I'm saying? Sweet darling. You know what I'm saying?
She could put that on her next album as a quote.
I know,
it's like
right?
drinking peppermint tea on a hot day.
I'm telling you, it's just so.
That was poetic.
That was very poetic.
I'm telling you, we put that album in. It's a beautiful album, and I'm glad you said about how you develop instruments, because a lot of times, when we look at ourselves as African people around the world, the first thing we look to, because we've been trained this way now, because it's natural. We've been trained through all this dispersion on the continent, dispersion to the east, dispersion to the west, to say maybe UNICEF and them is going to teach us the way, right? But if you ain't got no lessons, if you ain't got the proper structure, the proper structure, the proper schedules and stuff from Margaret Thatcher, then what we got to do? We got to teach ourselves, like you said. And we want to, like Fanon said, start at the end. Like you said, sister, start with what you know and then write around what you know.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like my playing style has developed over time, because either of the music that I've been listening to while I've been learning the guitar, or the kind of sounds that I'm trying to create, or the kind of moods I'm trying to create. And as well as that, I've given myself tasks where I learn covers of songs as well, because I'm self-taught. It means I'm just playing in my God-given style. But it's good to broaden your style and learn other techniques and methods. Mm-hmm. So I would learn a cover here and a cover there that would maybe have a different type of rhythm or style to what I'm used to playing for myself, so that I could kind of naturally branch out. And now I'm at a point where I'm finger plucking and I'm like, yay!
When you get to that point, that is, yes. I have not made it there yet, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, when you start doing,
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's nothing like learning how to develop and play stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the joy of learning. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely.
And that type of skill of learning and teaching yourself, being an autodidact and stuff. It's not that we don't, and it's, people say, well, I'm self-taught, individualistic. Nobody teaches me nothing. Well, no, you had the materials and the cover songs. You just self-directed yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And from there, but it's still, people left the stuff, we put it down, and we can pick it up and go from there. And it's that type of internal initiative is why is what we need to build what we need to do. That's the diaspora. Yes. And if y'all want to add go ahead,
about
brother.
The initiative to turn around and pick it up and do for yourself. But this is what, remember we were talking about the whole spirituality before, and religions and groups and ideas and theologies, and it's always that they're always waiting for whoever to come and do it for them, but they're not realizing that the tools, the guidance, the map, the formula, the it's already set. You just got to pick it up and do it,
Yeah, and the thing is, if you pick it up and do it yourself, then you end up sharing it with others anyway.
Yes.
Because,
each one
at some point, someone's going to come and ask you, how long have you been doing this for? Mm-hmm. How did you get started with that? Or, how do you do that? And then, you're sharing, and that person then shares it on with the next person. And before you know it, you've got a tree branch that's grown like however many additional branches onto it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But people want the quick fix. They don't want the development part. They don't want the learning part. They want the, hey, let's hurry up and where's the concert,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the novelty aspect, isn't it? No one wants to put in the year-round annual work that it takes to water it, to grow it, to development. Everyone just wants to party, and no one wants to even clean up after.
And there were days where there were days where I'd be on the guitar and I'd be so frustrated because I'd feel like I'd plateaued and I wasn't learning anything new or adding to my sound.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would get really frustrated. So I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to put you down. I'm not going to look at you. I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm just going to get on with myself. Yeah. And when I feel love for you again, then I will caress you and seduce you, and we will do this thing. Yeah. But right now, I can't stand you. So just be in your own space.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to walk away.
Yes.
Exactly.
Love and hate between the guitars.
Exactly. It's good. I like. It's real important that people, when they listen to the audience, to hear that, understands that, and it's just like what initially we started listening to Raggo, just like the return of JAH MESSENGER, and I remember we saw him. Like I said, we saw him on Vigorous Denial, and then we saw him on that Beach Rhyme Revolution that Global Faction had, and. One of the things the brother was, my whole thing is if you ain't got no center in Africa, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, okay? And the brother was red, black, green, red, black, green. Marcus Garvey said red, black, green. And I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. And then y'all two got together. I was like, oh, no, it's all about you. It's all about you. And I wanted to talk, and moving on to the next question, folk music is defined as relating to the traditional art or culture of a community or nation. And so when you're considering the definition of folk music in relation to your album, Folk Songs, You and Me, we wanted to talk about the album's conception and overall arrangement. I know, Raggo, you kind of touched on it, especially like we said, you had diaspora in the interlude starting and also in the ending. And it seems like, the album is in itself is a general call to return of our African culture and values. And many of the songs throughout the album, which is why I love it, right? Which is why we love it, is it's reinforcing the complementary relationship between the African man and the African woman. Okay, I'm gonna stress that because there's too much stuff.
Some people miss that part.
Yeah, okay, I don't want people to miss.
They just caught the melodies. They were like, "Oh, that's I love that riff." Ooh.
Yeah, no, don't miss that part.
Don't miss the.
I'm just like. Cool.
You know, like what you say on the Every Evanescence, the dirty little batty boy. But anyway, I'm just going talking. Never in my life, Selassie. Anyway, we wanted you to both to talk about the album's conception and ultimate objective, because I just want to say this, listener, this is a really beautiful album. I mean, especially when you got that peppermint tea voice, sister. Oh, Lord have mercy. And then you got my man Raggo. Oh, you so strong. Y'all so strong, man. So strong. Go ahead. Talk to us about the conception of the album. Both, anybody want to pick it up?
I think it all began with Dark Skin Man, to be honest.
True.
I think because for me in general, I'm all about showing love to my brothers and showing them respect and kind of just letting people know that like the biggest part of my heart goes to the African man. So Dark Skin Man was a very important piece for me, which is why I wanted to do it right and give thanks I had Raggo there to do it right with. And everything else just flowed and stemmed from there, really. Raggo?
I would say that not necessarily in the plan, but a lot of our work and who we are as people is about restoration. There's balance in it. There's an off balance of masculine and feminine energy in the universe right now. That's why all kinds of things are happening. You see it in the people. You see it in just the agendas and things that are being pushed without jumping too head first in it. But long story short, you can see it and you can feel it. That's why enough people don't feel right in themselves, and people want to do this and do that, and people are doing all kinds of surgery because even in their own, as a woman turn around and this is who I am and this is my shape and figure, and I turn around and want to put an extra bum on top of that, or I want to take one off, or do all this kind of stuff or whatever. That's before you even get into anything from one gender to another. Like just even that alone, that you're not. Now, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on womanhood, but I don't know, as a man, if I felt like, I don't know, my muscles weren't big enough to make me a man, I'd go and spend some more time with my kid or something. If I've gone to the gym 3 times a week for 6 months and the muscles haven't grown, I don't feel any manlier, I'd go and find another aspect to rectify or to rebuild on to make me feel more like a man. Maybe sports isn't working, so I need to go and do something else. Maybe spend some more time with my kids or build something or use other aspects of manhood. Yes. So if as a woman, whoever it was didn't feel woman enough, had to go and get surgery, I think that they missed the point. So basically the point I'm making is coming back to the balance, so that you're like a seesaw. One weight on one side, one weight on the other side. It goes from top to bottom and then it balances out somewhere in the middle some point. So
and that's, sorry to cut you, but that's how our friendship works as well. Like he's my best friend and I'm his best friend, aren't I?
Indeed.
I better be.
No questions asked.
But basically, the reason that we've been friends for so long and we're so tight is because we give each other that balance. You know, it's not always one person is this and one person is that. We take turns, we come forward, we take steps back. You know, we give each other the space to be who we are in the way that we need to be who we are. Mm-hmm. And when one of us needs to be picked up or just needs a little shoulder, we're there to provide that. And so it was very easy to reflect that in the music, and it came very naturally.
Yes,
so it wasn't even like a planned thing. It was literally like, okay, well, this is the concept of this song. Let's do it. Or someone would have an idea for a song, start it, and then the other person would bring their element to it, and it naturally was just a yin and yang type thing.
And as I was saying about the yin and yang, like the masculine feminine balance, it doesn't even always got to be like your first thing your mind comes to is sex. But even in the thing, one of the tunes said, don't be no disrespect, but it's not about sex kind of thing. It's not the flesh. It's about that, just that balance between.
Exactly.
Boom.
Exactly.
Gay dudes always hang around the most females. No?
Yeah.
Do they not? Because they need, as much as that's not their aspiration or their desire or what flicks on their switch, yeah, but they still need that balanced energy.
Dark skin man, knowledge of your 6 foot plus is something I've come to lust. After many days of deliberation, here's my situation. my plan goes according, from friends to more than we'll become, whilst you act dumb when it's written in my eyes. Want our minds and bodies tied. But hold on, I'm rushing. What's your name and can we keep in touch in the usual way? Catch a film or just chill for the day? I mean, show me who you are in your own special way. I wanna know your mind and ideas, your fears. We can face down this road together when things are clear. Like where we stand in each other's eyes, and can you make the world sound sweet when I wanna cry? Can I get you through anything with just the image of me smiling back at you? Don't have a clue but an inkling of the things capable of making this thing sensational. So when I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me. Dark-skinned man with those silky baritones on late night calls when I'm at home. You're sending chills and shivers down my achy spine. You've got me asking, why? You've got me feeling, my. How incredible the journeys of our conversations, humor, intelligence, and social commentations. You've got me nervous thinking on our first excursion, tantalizing me with words on how. You want to paint a canvas of random happenings that fall in sync with daydreams you've imagined me having. And in reality, just the presence of your company means more to me than any materials could ever be. So, King, I'm willing and ready to be that queen that you need. So when I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you. When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me. You got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. You 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 got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. You got me feeling you.
Let me read you like an open book and reevaluate all the things I overlooked. Maybe then take it to my home and cook. But first let me take your coat and put it on the hook. Hear you feeling me? Well, I'm feeling you too. You mirror me, 'cause we're the darkest shade of blue. Show me, 'cause I wanna know who you are. Sing out your soul to me on your guitar. And I ain't even thinking sex, souls connected, no disrespect. So I know what you're thinking next when I press my dark-skinned flesh against your flesh. Face to face, in your arms is the safest place. Gave me the blessing, amazing grace. Lured by your style and your ways and your taste. Dark-skinned lioness, in your flat shoes and your flower dress. Looking at you, gave me one look and it rendered me powerless.
Feeling you, got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. You got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. Got me feeling you. You wanna read me like an open book? Come and read me like an open book. Wanna read me like an open book? Come and read me like an open book. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah.
Yeah, you know when you used to go to your grandparents' house?
Mm-hmm.
You know that feeling when you step in the door of just, the fucking Star Wars kind of thing. It's that same, because there was a balance of masculine and feminine energy, and that's what the planet came out of. So we all came from. So we want to just kind of put that one there back on, flat again.
Yeah, get rid of the ego and just it's all about just being a unit.
Give me a hug, you know? Give us a hug. Go on, no.
They're giving each other a hug. No, that's important though, because a lot of people's relationships are based on who can one up each other and who can show each other, oh, this is what I got, and you know, a lot of times somebody will dominate the whole thing, and it won't be any give and take. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of relationships like that. So y'all are very.
But that's
lucky.
the dictatorship. But the dictatorship back to the male supremacy, yeah. And so, and the male supremacy is out of a lack and out of insecurity. But at the end of the day, if you needed to dictate, then you would be one person strong. You know what I mean? It's a relationship, you know. And so that means you have certain things you haven't got, and certain things the other person hasn't got, and then you contribute them both. You take time to get to know each other and figure out what skills or what assets do you have to contribute, and what does the other person, so you can kind of work towards that common goal of whatever it is. I don't know, survival or longevity or a fruitful life or a happy time or whatever the goal is. But you can work towards that. But if you're both fighting each other, you're never even going to figure out what your skills are, and you're distracted from the other threatening aspects that could be coming your way. You're busy fighting a man over the two sticks to make the fire, and then the pterodactyl come over and pick you both off, or the janko come and yum you both, you know.
And you can even have that kind of relationship in the same sex, you know. So
exactly.
Yeah, very much so. If you look at the way that enough time, even the way it's presented to you as black women, to the way that the images that they put of us is either super strong. If she's super strong, then it's this kind of beat down, big mama type situation. Can't tell me it's either Mammy or Auntie Jemima, or it's over super sexualized. Can't keep herself together. Can't stand for 2 seconds, kind of thing. That situation, or then you traumatized Halle Berry type, being beaten, traumatized, and all this kind of like Josephine type situation. So, and women are the black woman's all kinds of people, all kinds of aspects or whatever. But yet still, you've only got these 4 stereotypes to push her in. You know.
Exactly. It's like you said, they always pushing this stereotype and that stereotype. And, you know, I don't, like I said, I've told you before and stuff, I don't really we don't have TV or nothing like that, but it's just like when I go work out at the gym, that's when I see the TV thing. And then, you know, they always pushing. I don't know what it is. Now I know they doing that stuff now. They trying to push the civility. They always pushing all these light-skinned women now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not me personally. If you African, you African. We're Africans come in all colors because of what happened. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If you mix what you say, if you mix race, then the black man won. You know what I'm saying? That's rap song right there.
Exactly.
Okay, so I don't. But if you want to, because people try to say, well, if you mix, you might not. No. Well, wait a minute. Well, what about the man that got with the white girl? You know what I'm saying? He mixed up in the head. So do you mean to tell me if the African, who it happens to be mixed, if he claimed the Africanity, we good to go, we can make plans. You know, straight knowledge. That's another one of them tracks. But that's the whole thing. They pushing, you know, what is the African woman? And I'm telling you, in American, this stuff, y'all get the American tea. Hell, y'all know more about American than we know. This is a closed society. Shit. Y'all be telling me some stuff, right? They pushing what is the African man, and then, you know, it's always the darker you are, the more crazy you is. You see what they do. And it's just, it's really, we're in a real neo-colonial time right now where we haven't been able to read the political atmosphere, what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Even so that I feel like even when we call ourselves African, some of us do, they doing it more so. I know over here, they trying to claim it in the sense I've seen in terms of just being another ethnic group that can maintain itself in America without a contradiction. You see what I'm saying? Nobody would ever say, understand. If anybody said the term Jewish Nazi, it would be considered non sequitur, right? But some kind of way you can claim America. I'm just like everybody else. The Africa means nothing. The Africa means nothing. It's just a physiological distinction.
What that means is that you're a neutralized African, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a Negro. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what the Negro was. That's the African American is the new term for what my grandma used to call the colored folk or the Negro.
Yeah,
or
the colored folk in the Caribbean. Yeah. And my whole thing is, if you call me an African American, I tell you, just call me a nigga, okay? Because I wanted you what they would, because they would have been beating me on the plantation.
You know what they call it in England?
What?
They call it a criminal or a hoodie or an asbo.
There you go.
You know, and even if or urban, and even if it's a brushing statement. So a couple other people get brushed under the statement. Generally, that those people have some kind of association or affiliation to that culture.
Exactly.
To that, whatever. So even if they aren't of that, you're not a nigger, or you're not a whatever. You've made some affiliation or statement by your dress code, by the music that you make, by the people you associate with, by the way you make your money, by whatever, to this underclass culture. But it would be the same keyword that would be criminal, or if you've got a beard and it's alhamdulillah, then it would be terrorist, or if you have, it's these keyword things kind of, because as it changes, as times change, it's like all things, language changes. When I was a kid, bad was the newest word. And if something was bad, that means it was the wickedest thing on road. It was great. It was amazing. Oh my day, that's bad, blood. It's the badness of the bad. It's bad. You know, but if you go back 30 or 40 years before that, then if you said it was bad, it was really like, the plague, run, you know? Yeah. So language changes usage according to the user and the time it's being used in and the context, you know?
That's exactly right.
And then oftentimes that's just done as a little trick because that's what the English language is full of, but just to lose the user as well. To lose the user.
They try to say, well, niggardly is a real word. Yeah, but it's an English word that's based in some type of English bias.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
and,
come on.
And what they wouldn't, the thing is, I don't even have a problem with that. What would I would have a problem with is that they can't accept the fact that you got English bias. They'll be like, no, what are you talking about? No, never. They do not, and before you just leave the point alone, they'd argue every other point and apart from the real point. And that's what there's so much of nowadays, to distract you from the point. That's why, you know what? Move on to the next one, man. Allow it. I'm going home, you know? Because it's just so missed the point.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And actually, since we're talking about language, our next point was about language. And I'm going to read a quote from Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and it's from his book, Ngugi wa Thiong'o Speaks, Interviews with a Kenyan Writer. And he quotes, I quote him, "You can actually learn a lot from how words are used in our oral narratives, because when we listen to our oral narratives, we will find some very strong imagery, very strong characters, very interesting situations. And for instance, when you listen to our proverbs, they are memorable because of the structure of the words, the rhythms that make them stick in the mind. So words are very important. In my view, the more political the narrative is, the more it needs to meet certain artistic standards in the uses of words, imagination. One should care very much about the language so that it becomes interesting." And so we wanted to relate that to some of the words in y'all in like specific songs that y'all wrote. And like in So Strong, like the hook says, "So strong, didn't show it." I'm gonna try to sing. So strong. So strong, didn't even know it. And when you think about the words of that, you can apply that to so many situations, you know, that everybody goes through, that we can all relate to. And in the song Dark Skin Man, you say, "When I say I charge you, you stand accused of making me feel you." And I think, and I'm just going to give you my interpretation of that. You can tell me if it's true, okay?
You go, girl.
But when I hear that, I think that it's talking about anybody, really, a woman or a man who has been in a situation where they got maybe abused or had these bad relationships. And so they kind of put this wall up, and then they meet somebody who's a real person, you know, a real African, a real African woman, a real African man. And then they say, you know, "I'm accusing you of making me feel you because I was supposed to have this wall up, and now you're messing up my wall."
Yes. Yes.
Is that what
Without
it
a
is?
doubt. Yeah. And the thing is, it's so funny because it's that, and it's also it's so crazy that you chose those two quotes, because the So Strong song is written about a black woman, and obviously Dark Skinned Man, I Charge You, is written about a black man. And it's like, so with the I Charge You part, as well as it meaning that, it's also just taking the stereotype of a black man, you know, always running from the police, always being in trouble with the police. When you hear the words "I charge you" in terms of a black man, you expect it to be something to do with the police.
Being a
but
criminal.
it's like, no, I'm turning it on its head. It's more positive. It's the fact that, you know what, if I'm going to charge you with something, I'm going to charge you with something that's positive. I'm going to charge you with something that I had no idea could happen, but I'm happy that it did happen, because it's the greatest thing in the world to happen to me. And I'm thanking you for that. That's why I'm charging you. This is serious. It's not just like, okay, you've made me feel you. No. I charge you.
Oh, man.
That's it. Court done.
That's that peppermint tea right there.
Stir it.
And then
Stir it, put some lemon in it.
There we go.
I like that.
And then, you know, as women, as black women, we are like, as Raggo had said previously, we're expected to be this strong person. Don't cry, don't feel no pain, just get on with it, carry the heavy load on your back, get on with it, and that's the end of the story. And people kind of forget that strength manifests in different ways, and it shows itself in different ways. So you could cry, that doesn't mean you're weak. You're strong because you've allowed yourself to feel those emotions. You've allowed yourself to go through that fire to become a better version of you, to deal with the issue at hand and get through it.
Even that is the misconception of this whole, like you said, this Auntie Jemima or this Beyonce or this super diva type. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, because when you as the black woman now, you've got all these emotions and all this pressure on you and all this attack and all this whatever in you, and then you can't even process and deal with it because society's told you all the images of yourself the only images that you see of yourself which you recognize or associate to being strong are someone that doesn't do that. So you don't deal with it, and then you're not connected with yourself. You're not doing any room wellness. You're not doing any of this or that, the other. Then you're going nuts. And you're thinking, why am I going nuts? So why they act to me or treat me like I'm nuts? Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that's been put on you. Whereas if you had an example, if you do have sisterhood or people around you that can turn around and show you how to deal with it and get on with it, here's the shoulders to cry on, things will get better. That kind of a positive outlook or a realistic outlook, as opposed to this kind of person on a pedestal without taint, this Jesus Christ female version that is higher than, holier than all the rest of us, and can't kind of, and that's the psychology that's putting them. And then when they can't manage it, they feel less than or lacking, and then
exactly
that turns into illness, cancer, disease, and then the good ones end up dying because they can't live up to this of who they think their grandma was or their aunt was, or exactly. And that is one of the things that's another thing, back to I was saying to you about those stereotypes, is the reason why it's there for, so that even if you are doing everything exactly right, they've moved the goalpost so you can never hit it.
Oh, I like that. Yep.
That is so true.
Like Charlie Brown shit or something, man. And I want to say also about So Strong, because I remember I've talked to Raggo's, like I told you, like the lyric you got on Back to the Basics, where she was talking about where we took her from the motherland where she don't know where her baby's at. You know, that line right there, that line really meant, that line like makes my, like, that really touches my soul. Like, I was really like, it was kind of just, because I'll be reading a lot of stuff, when you understand our history, and when you hear that, it's kind of like, I remember I was looking at something John Henry Clark said, like, Africans in diaspora, you know, it's like you feel like, you know, growing up, you feel like you don't really belong nowhere. You see what I'm saying? And so when you say they took the babies, they stole us, and then the constant propaganda that these people tell you is try to inculcate with you. Well, you're not African no more. Well, you're not African. And Charlize Theron is? Please, get out of my face with that.
They're trying to make
When was this?
Exactly. And so, the So Strong, I remember before the album came, I remember I saw the video, and y'all was into like working at a homeless shelter, and it kind of like, man, so now when I watch the video and listen to the song, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I start tearing up when I hear that, because it's like, man, that was some, because I ain't been homeless, but I was there. And then like I gotta read like the end of the song, and then you, Raggo, you even harmonizing on the track. I can hear you in the background, bro. Okay, I hear you getting loose, bro. But you said
I have to splash a little extra sauce on that one, you know?
You know what I'm saying? You said, keep my strength deep below my surface. Keep my strength deep below my surface. I can't forget my value, my purpose, or what my worth is. Cause, and I have to say that, I'm gonna let you hear, but I had to say because, man, when you feel like worthless and crap, you know, you got to center that African power. Because like you said, they moving the goalposts. They telling you what a real nigga is, right? And that's where your only imagination is to be a real nigga, right? Whatever the white media tell you, whatever that is. And then that song made me go back to my 20s and realize, man, I came through this stuff. And then you got the peppermint voice, sister, and you singing that. Girl, y'all be making, when you say I charge you on making me feel ways on that song, you know. So go ahead, Raggo, my bad.
You see you saying about reaching to the status, that real nigga status or whatever. Enough times the leaders are the ones that turn around and achieve that status and then realize it's empty. It's like a mountain that they climb.
Exactly.
You see, like, for example, Malcolm Red. He got to the top of the heights of being the don of the street thing, and then he was like, oh, okay, I've got 10 years. Okay, right. But it's only through that real experience and actually really for him. There are a lot of people that flirt with it or pretend to be, or it sounds cool, so I buy the rap tune or whatever, but they're busy actually living and doing other stuff. So it doesn't really, it's like an infatuation. It's only those that live the fantasy that go through it and they're like, oh, this was empty. I get you. And then they look, and then your search is for what is the next mountain for me to climb. And that's how oftentimes they become the next Malcolm X's or the Farragut or whoever the case may be. That's how they become the next leaders. But oftentimes, unfortunately, we have to go through it. It's a facade to be able to sell it to others. Even when you see it, for example, like people like J. Cole's or whoever at the moment. You know what I mean? They've been through that music machine thing and they've got to a certain point and then they're like, back up kind of thing. Even if you check, what's all the people around Puffy, for example, like your Shines, your Loons or whatever, they're all turned religious fanatics or whatever because they've been and seen the face of it. They've been and seen Dr. No stroking his cat in the office to realize, that devil really is whoever. Do you know what I mean? And,
well, yeah, and it messes some people up to the point where they're like, I want to kill myself or whatever. You know, they do some crazy stuff.
But it's oftentimes you've got to really get there. If not, it's like exercising your desires. If you still leave a little bit in the cup or in the syringe, you're going to go back and drink it. So you have to kind of get it all out to kind of, and then you realize, is that it? Okay. And then you can move on. And then everyone becomes a leader. If you check, for example, now for all the kind of a lot of these kids that don't fit into that thug thing, or it's not really being promoted in the same way as it was before still, but the ones that don't fit into that I'm a baller or I'm a this or whatever that others, it's like a new little stereotype that they're pushing right now.
Yeah, you can see it. You're saying also, right.
The waves change. But back to what you were saying also earlier about, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was to do with the women or something like that. It's lifestyles that they're selling now. See, once upon a time, they'd sell you products.
Yeah.
But it's easy. If I sell you a lifestyle, you'll buy everything that comes with the lifestyle. So if you check hip hop, Love and Hip Hop, or if you check, I don't know, whatever these shows are kind of thing. Even if you check it, like MTV show you music videos, because music videos were the product. They were selling songs, they're selling CDs, etc. That doesn't sell anymore. So what they do is sell you, the only way is Essex or whatever. So they can sell you a million products. They can sell you hats, T-shirts, vests, whatever. But if we're selling you these people, and the way that they live, you'll follow it forevermore, and we can add up to it. Like lifestyles every day, it changes, like The Sims. Like today you might go to the beach, or tomorrow you might do this or da. And wherever you go with that thing, they can continue to sell you the products. Because I was watching one thing called Power. Before during the war, the First World War, or before the First World War, leading up to it, they use these people that is propaganda. Artist kind of thing, and they would sell the war. The city needs you, the country needs you, this, that, the fourth, whatever. And they would have to get the public opinion behind the war so that when the war happened, people wouldn't revolt. Right. So they get the people behind it, they get the patriotism going, they get the feeling of, these Germans, these Jerrys, whatever the case may be, Hitler's doing this, blah, blah. Or it wasn't even Hitler in the First War, but whatever the case is, they get the public feeling going. But then after the Second World War was done, these people had a really great finite skill because they had 2 wars to define it to get people behind war. But then what could they sell then at that point? So what they did was get them to sell things like cigarettes and stuff, or just little products, cigarettes, alcohol, etc., etc., etc. But then the ways that they did it was the same ways, the same skills that they used to sell war. So it was things like women who had newfound rights after the war or find new liberties after being used in certain positions. they sold them cigarettes by telling them it was a torch of liberty. And it's the fact that they've got to choose it, because before it was frowned upon for a lady, it wasn't ladylike to smoke a cigarette. But now you fought 2 wars and done all the duties a man can do, you're entitled to just as much cancer as he is. So come and buy our products.
Right.
And women, same thing as the feminism, they grabbed it up kind of thing. Yes, I want that, because it's they hadn't exercised that desire and didn't realize it had nothing to do with them. And they want the right to do the same. And in that, how many of them got caught up in it, end up dying, cancer, sickness, illness, disease. But the point was, that's what they started doing at first, selling these products. And then after a while, they realized, because if you check, the war ended in 1935 or 1945 or something like that. Technicolor Telly comes out about 5 or 6 years later. Then you got the 50s and the whole communism and all that drama or whatever. But around about that time, even the communism thing, before it was a particular enemy or a specific person. But then they start to sell you this kind of, this is like, for example, you guys are in America, the all American way of living. You buy a Cadillac, you live in a house that looks like this, you dress a suit or whatever. But I grew up watching All I Believe Is Genie, or All Day Long I Dream of Genie, or the Fondles, not the Fondles, what are they called? House on the Prairie, or Grease Lightning. Happy Days, all them things. And so if you look at it and you check the timeline, you can see what's being sold to us in hindsight. So like you said, you went to the gym the other day, and you could see, because you haven't watched TV in ages, so you could see clearly what the agenda was.
Exactly.
It's just like when you ain't seen a friend for ages and they want money. You know in the first 5 sentences, hey, you acting a bit dodgy. Okay, you want something? There you go. Let me buy you a drink. I'm out of it. And so it's the same thing. But it's only if you're in it all the time, you're around it all the time, you're susceptible to the manipulation, you know?
My
All right, are you so strong now? Are you so strong? You didn't even know it, you were so strong, huh? So strong, you didn't know it, but you found out because of you and me, okay? So, this is where we gotta leave it for now, but if you wanna finish listening to this, A Complementary Bond, you and me, Asabi Hawah, and Hawah Raggo Zulu Rebel, part 1 in its entirety, all you have to do is go to our store. And there you'll have access not only to this particular interview, but to all of Conscientization 101's unabridged interviews, musical commentaries, and merchandise. And most importantly, you will be supporting 100% independent media. Yeah. Okay, now, we promise you, just as with all our unabridged interviews, the podcast was just the tip of the iceberg. We touch on so much more. So you definitely want to get the unabridged interview from you and me, where we cover, in addition to what you just heard, misconceptions of power and imperial political economy. So now we know you want to finish hearing what you and me had to say, okay? Now, this episode has featured sounds from, not listed in the order they were played. You and Me, All About You, Dark Skin Man, and So Strong, from their album, Folk Songs, and Conscientization 101, Decolonize This, Properly Defining Settlers, Part 1, from our musical commentaries collection. We wanted to thank Sister Asabi Hawah and Raggo Zulu Rebel, you and me, for taking the time to dialogue with us. Rags! And we definitely appreciate that peppermint ethereal voice, Sister Asabi. Yes, we do. And for more info on Asabi and Raggo as artists, as well as their collaborative projects as you and me, check out these social media and affiliated websites. You and Me, Instagram, at you and me _2014. That's at UAND me _2014. Asabi Hawah, Twitter, at Asabi _Hawah. That's at ASABI _HAWAH. Instagram at Asabi _Hawah _music. Facebook, search Asabi Hawah, ASABI space Hawah, HAWAH. Website asabi-hawah.com. And on SoundCloud, search for Asabi Hawah. Raggo Zulu Rebel. Twitter at Raggo Zulu Rebel. Instagram at Raggo Zulu Rebel. And at Raggo Zulu Rebel Promo. He has 2, y'all. Facebook, search Raggo Zulu Rebel. Website, RaggoZuluRebel.com. Bandcamp, just do a search for Raggo Zulu Rebel. And on SoundCloud, search Raggo Zulu Rebel. Y'all kind of seeing the pattern here? All right, links for music featured in this episode are available in our show notes. Links for social media and affiliated websites for you and me, Asabi, and Raggo are also available in our show notes. So you can just click to them, because I know y'all ain't gonna remember all that I just laid down. Y'all gonna be like, damn, that's a lot of shit. So we done put all the links in there. So there ain't no excuses why you shouldn't have folk songs or get you JAH Messenger or something, damn it. Just go on in there, click on the link, make the purchase. You know what I'm saying? That's what you support. But I don't know if y'all do the supporting or y'all just militantly like shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I did support. I like shit. I like it. I like to hit like on shit. That's my action. Yes, I like a lot of stuff. I don't buy shit. I just like it.
All right. I digress. Not really. And don't forget, when you visit us at conscientization101.com or c101magazine.com, sign up to our mailing list for exclusive information and downloads. Hit up our store. Support 100% independent media. Also, don't forget to check us out on Twitter at Conscien1. That's CONSCIEN1. On Facebook, Conscientization 101, and Instagram at C101 Editors. Again, support these wonderful artists. You got the links. We've made everything easy for you. Stop being a militant liker, okay? Go ahead and support us as well, because that helps us keep bringing them to you. And it's a synergy, you see, guys? But if you cannot move yourself to buy you and me, I think y'all some dead motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I just got to say that, because you heard Sister Asabi and Brother Raggo bringing that together so strong, and if you can't support this album, your ass is so weak. I said that shit. So weak, you can support them. Your weak ass is so weak, and bitch, I didn't know it. You're so weak, and you show it. Get your ass away from me, because you so weak. Hey, y'all gonna put me on You and Me Part 2, Asabi, Raggo? Y'all think I can make the cut? Anyway, I'm having fun, guys. I'm just joking, am I? But I'm just joking, am I? No, my sister and brother, Raggo Zulu Rebel and Asabi Hawah, I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Shoot, they better buy it, otherwise they're gonna see me come out so strong on their ass. But anyway, support these people. We gonna see you in part 2. We out. Peace.
Conscientization.